It's going to be a long road to get there, but with just the one game on World's Edge now, I say you give it your all, right? This is home territory for a lot of teams. This is the map that we all learned competitive on. And to see them dropping in one last time today, you've got to pull out all the secret strats that you've got, because after this, there is no more World's Edge. We are into the Chaos of Storm Point, and God knows what monsters await us there.
It's gonna get funny and funky when we do get to Storm Point. But we have one more game of at least some semblance of order. We'll see how that works out as we do see the teams just squaring off one more time. Curious. Now, this does also bring up the point of if you're struggling landing with somebody, you need to make the change to switch that up now, because this is your last game on World's Edge. It looks like OG Washed and Lazarus are going to be fighting once again, and they don't want to give this one up, man. This has just been a bloodbath up on the top side of the map.
Not going to stop, but Dank, at least, his death would be delayed if it were to happen at all. That's a purple shield off drop. For what it's worth, it seems like Big Mod has had a little bit less action in this most recent game, but Climatizer keeps lighting up. Dank takes a boatload of damage, though, and just barely manages to escape with his life, leaving a gas canister behind. The Lazarus are able to group up on the high ground, find themselves a break. The punch is coming out. The fisticuffs are going wild, and the Mastiff is there to clean it up as J-Lone goes down.
Yeah, OG Wash once again just struggling out the gate. That is so unfortunate for themselves. Lazarus, I do believe, got a shield swap off in the middle of that, which is why they were able to keep their teammates alive. Oh, here comes. Yeah, no, goodbye.
Nice melees, nice melees. Can I say, by the way, really good looks for Lazarus. This is not a team that I would have said could win a 50-50 every day of the week going into this split, but now that we're really at the tail end, if not the end, of Split 2, this squad has taken their early 3v3s and really leveled them up. OG Washed are not a squad that you can trifle with, but these guys are they're managing to do it, and it speaks really well to the time that Lazarus have taken throughout the season to develop their play style and to really find some nice gelling even on hot drops like that.
Yeah, I mean, Lazarus have always been a team that have been always around, but never really had the high consistency to be competitors on the top end of the spectrum. But today has been a different day for them. They've seemed to be on top of their game, not only in those early fights, but in those later fights as well. We saw, you know, up until the point where how like 7 squads dropped on them, they were doing really well holding out on Harvester.
Now RCO in a little bit of a pickle right now. They have one taken down and do not look like they're in too comfortable a place, especially since they don't have that reset that we talked about. When your Gibby goes down, you do not have the ability to take a little bit of time and breathe in the middle of a fight anymore. So they disengage, sending themselves over to Lava Fisher, hoping against hope that there will be enough of a distraction in this area to recover their teammate. 2 bubbles are going off in the distance. Alter Ego looked like they were trying to join that fight, but have instead disengaged, fearing shots that are now being thrown into their back. Mitten is the one taking that, and Mitten also surprising me today, since I had expected him to pull out the Mirage again. But Alter Ego, they just keep surprising.
Look, they just wanted to upset us, ultimately. That is the truth. I hate to say it, hate to put this out on those players, but we were expecting the Mirage, and we did not get it. I am upset.
Did you hear that other unexpected thing we got just now? That was an EMP.
I mean, look, I'm not surprised to see a crypto anymore, though.
I'm surprised to see a crypto in Game 3 when we haven't seen a crypto. I think that's where I'm at right now. And Alter Ego, well, they did eat that EMP, seem to have recovered pretty well. It's not an aggressive crypto ult, more of a zoning crypto ult that's ended up going off. And
that's
Alter Ego are going to be able to hang out in Landslide for the moment. They did get that next beacon read, so if they think they've got a better prediction on zone, they're going to be able to do it. But take a look. If it's anybody that's running crypto, All Glory Gaming, they were the ones to do it, and by God, they are.
Yeah, it does look like they did actually get their full team in this time, which may be why they are pulling the crypto out now. I think that does make a little bit more sense. Talus being in does mean that Talus is not going to stop moving, and that does not work out well when you have a Crypto on your team. Crypto will never catch up, but now with their full squad in tow, with their ability to play their game their way, does mean the Crypto can come back out. So not surprised as much on that one, but RNG now getting into a little bit of a tiffy themselves.
Risky drop from Save Griffin. Ended up having to dispel the bubble on his way down. CC Uchinix having a lot less safety now they don't have, of course, their Gibby up top with them. A lot less power from the high ground, but Crummy's going to be able to hold it down for now. You keep Renegades at bay, you play this southernmost end of the train tunnel, and you can still get yourself some really nice position and even some really nice kills from the teams that are trying to come in from the south. But Ring's not going to pull anybody to them just yet. It'll be more patience than anything from teams like CC, Uchinix, and even Renegades.
The biggest thing about that spot is that you can hide back up on that cliff and people will not see you until you actually peek out, depending on how far back you are on that cliff. So obviously Renegades know that now, but it can be a really clutch spot to get some surprises, some flanks off when people aren't expecting. Lazarus already in a fight down there.
Oh, you got it, you got it. Does find just that little bit of damage left on the Gibby shield. Mizzay's gonna take to the sky to avoid some damage. Dank is still alive. Never mind, he's dead. Oh no, I spoke too soon. Lazarus weren't able to get him.
Oh my goodness, yeah. You cursed it. Cursed it, Dia. But now, yeah, final bozos are coming around. Wait, what are they doing up here?
Trying to find Lazarus. If they did already get that initial knock, they know it's a 2 versus 3. They know the health is in their favor. They know the damage is in their favor. And, well, apparently everything else is as well. Taken to the skies will keep final bozos at bay for the moment. But it's a desperate reposition and one that will keep you likely from picking up your teammate. Lazarus relegating themselves to a 2-man play in this one out. TUR poking up over the top right now in a choke point off towards the most eastern side of this ring. Now find themselves fighting war on 2 fronts as there's a team coming in all the way from behind them. And take a look at that kill feed as well. Seems like things are not going too smoothly for Crummy to take off. TUR aren't able to take off either. And there is just chaos. There's just tragedy everywhere on World's Edge.
And that was so clean after they dropped the Valk as well. They immediately got the kills on the rest of the members, and now Blackhand are in a bit of a rough spot. Valky's hanging around looking to try and engage on this. I think Blackhand will be able to disengage. Just getting over this hill, that's kind of the big thing they need to be able to do.
I'm surprised they're even disengaging, right? I mean, they had height. They had a great position.
They did not have shields, though.
Yeah, just not enough to feel comfortable, and they do back off. Valk is fun. We'll be able to collect some nice bits of loot here, and Blackhand will be able to reposition, right? Everybody wins in this situation, especially Blackhand, who managed to get themselves a whole lot of KP. They're able to rotate a little bit further north, leaving Goat behind for the moment. Take a look at where that ring is pulling, because landslide positioning will be rewarded, and Renegades, they've got it on lock.
Yeah, and landslide is one of those really rough rings because it does not provide a lot of protection. It's not like the fragment or the skyhook rings where there's so many buildings that you can hide in. It is all about using those rocks or getting that high ground that's so contested.
Prevail losing one for right now on a tough spot. I believe it is Ape that are running up on them for right now, and having already lost one with Zora at 1 hit, the likelihood of them getting out alive is slim. Turning around right now, Costa tries to buy a little bit more time with the Arc Star, but Uriel cares not for this, running up and finding flesh on the Valk in the sky. Does get that knock just at the end as well. Uriel clutching up twice today. Is now on the hunt for one final Wraith.
Great stuff from Abe, able to just pinpoint accuracy onto that Falcon. Now they are just going to be looking to clean up. They do have the ring at their back. They need to make a slight movement down southeast into this kind of open area. They'll still have a little bit of countdown available to go to, but it is not going to be fun moving forward from that point because, like we said, landslide is very, very open. You have rocks, and that is it. It is not a fun time to deal with how much just disaster can be rained upon you.
I believe that Sniper Tower is in for the moment. Likely taken by All Glory Gaming. I do know that they favor that spot. As to whether they were able to get it or not, still very much a mystery. Countdown is becoming even more of a party, though, as Arc Stars start raining in, and Save Griffin is forced onto low ground. There's a nice corner here that you can play, especially with the Caustic Arrows providing a lot of cover. But CCE Ushinix are waiting on third party more than anything. They can't afford to be the focus down here, since nades would be the end of them.
Yeah, we're seeing the Valk rotations come in, but Renegades already have that high ground in landslide. That is the highly contested area. Well, they're not sitting on the greatest of shields. They still have a white shield. Now they're going to be, yeah, I like this swap up. You give it to the Loba that has the 30-30 and is trying to just farm damage and let her do so with that white shield while you have everybody else with the purple.
Good look from Renegades.
Nice
on
aim.
top that nade is
Nice.
so beautiful. Gets you even closer to that purple as well, since you've rocketed all the way past blue. Madness. A really interesting pickup this split has been. Big game changer for the way that Renegades would stereotypically play games, making them a little bit more aggressive at times, more willing to take these poke engagements. And in this game specifically, it's looking like it was very worthwhile. Their playstyles continued to evolve, and this may be them really coming up on their final form. However, final bozos, they're the ones that have to disengage real quick as Illuminate were coming in behind them. Now stacking up even more squads right next to Renegades. It's going to become even more challenging as more and more teams start to cause a party. Drop it in. Final bozos find themselves another portal. It's so many teams that are just so hesitant to actually hang on to the cards.
Yeah, nobody actually wants to fight here, it seems like. They're just constantly poking out, looking to start it, and then as they start losing, back out and just reset. This is what Wraith is capable of doing when you do have one on your team. When there are multiple, it starts to get really, really weird in that you have like really what look to be hard engages that are just actually not.
Blackhand, they're about to get some kills. Yeah, I've seen this look from them before. Starting to move down the hill. They've already found themselves an angle on what looks to be an isolated Gibby on the low ground. This is going to be pretty good as Nade doesn't quite find Perseus. Yasto does play safely. Despite the fact that they saw multiple Gibby domes in different vulnerable places, not actually going to full ape anything just yet. Instead, allowing Valk is fun a little bit of time to reset. One res goes off, spot in the distance, re-knock instantly on Decay, and Shubi trades places rather with the Valkyrie, with the Gibby, who's very quickly eliminated to take out the remaining members of Valk is fun.
Yeah, all of them going down. Blackhand getting another bit of KP for themselves. Every time we check in, they seem to be doing well when they're not the ones getting third party.
Oh, please. Oh my god, he's alive. Holy moly. It was just on the outside of the dome. Damn it, he's fine. CC Uchinix still have a lot to worry about. Healing up is Save Griffin slowly in the background as well. CC Uchinix do not have the ability to quickly get themselves back into the fight. They're holding down corners as well as they can, taking shots from the low ground as well. Things are looking rough.
Yeah, somebody does need to save Griffin because, man, he has literally only 2 syringes that were just given to him. That is the only thing that he has to keep himself alive. Stick Drift. They do have their teammate here, so they are just going to peace out. Not going to go for the res right next to them because they do have some friends on the way. This is really the kind of question. What do you do? Because at the very least, with the Valk ult here, you do see everybody. You're not going to be seeing too many hidden people. Everyone's going to be in the open. How do they keep doing this?
Optimal ambitions popping in from the sky, lay down the Watson ult, and it is unsiegeable, this position. Now they have some safety up here. What they may have forgotten is that Black Hand were right around the corner. This isn't a fight between 2 squads, it's a fight between 3. If Optimal Ambition forget that, we could see them going down very quickly. Takes the peek around the corner, finds a little bit of damage, but Blake is the one that goes down in the meantime. A reset crucial for Optimal Ambition at this point, but with Black Hand coming around this corner, there is a timer on this fight and one that is not going to go smoothly. Optimal Ambition end up going down. Someone sign us, the ones that somehow managed to prevail on this low ground and still find themselves fighting that same old battle.
Yeah, a little bit too aggressive there, and someone sign us end up with some free loot coming over to them. Renegades hanging on the outside looking for something here. This is just constant, just aggression from some other squads. I think Renegades are going to do the right thing and just peace out here. Don't want to stay here too long and run the risk of getting gate kept as the next ring starts to close. Pull that Loba ult down to grab whatever good loot is on the outside and just keep moving.
Now, by positioning in this way, things have gotten a little bit harder for them. RCO rounding the corner over by Thermal Springs. They're going to try and do the exact same on the other side. We're at 12 squads left, but you get yourself in top 10. You've got a lot of placement points left. Nice bubble from Holiday. Defensive advantage going to RCO, but just like that, Holiday is down. Shooba-dooba-doop all over him, and now is able to turn this around. Black Hand going to find themselves another 3v3. This is what we know this squad for. Black Hand take out RCO.
I'm losing my mind. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, Black Hand just kind of out mechanics there. I mean, the big thing was the Gibby bubble fight just went so in favor of Black Hand there. Didn't get any damage taken in that, and that was just a clean takedown, which meant that they had 3 full health people to push on to 2, and that just did not work out well for RCO, unfortunately. But Black Hand very happy and very much showing off their ability to take on these 3v3s.
Impressive stuff and dexterity. Still able to really find themselves in an excellent spot after what has been a very long game for them, popping around from spot to spot, laying down the Loba ultimates, getting themselves looted up. You've got to pray that it's all been worth it at the end, but we're going to find out. Lazarus, the ham, and a very unfortunate sandwich at the moment. Have to choose which side they're defending themselves from, but do not have that much time to do so. Jespered, a single syringe, gets himself up to maybe 28 HP before they're forced to relocate. But there is no safety here. A single med kit going to keep him alive for now. And someone side us not looking too much better with Locks on the low ground, having a very, very sad Gibraltar next to him. A knockdown shield, the only thing keeping them alive.
Yeah, there is a lot of other stuff going on around, but I think there are enough guys keeping on that route that they're not going to be able to get that resurrection through.
Nice. Oh.
How is Vayne so good?
Vayne's too good. Vayne is
Lord.
a suspicious amount of good. That was awesome.
That was...
Double?
Those are the wingman shots that I just completely whiff. Is now Gibby ults are coming in. You see CCE on the side here, hanging on to that construction vehicle, but man, it is just so... This is the landslide experience. Everybody's holding on to what is covered technically, but there's all these little spots they can peek out from, and All Glory have to be so happy to be here. This is exactly the spot that they love to be in. They know this spot inside and out, and will make great work with this Kraber here.
A landslide experience TM as Kraber shots just keep raining in. 2 shots left for Jomax to make a difference, to find a squad wipe. All Glory have been pretty quiet this game. They're going to try and reposition now, making their way hopefully into the next ring and giving up the high ground for another day. Black Hand, they're the ones that have the height on the opposite side of this. You have to be careful about the reposition from All Glory, whether it puts them in a position to be shot in the back, but they are not focusing on anything but the kills right now. So much damage from above after Yatso lays that one in. Now has to reposition, reorient Because this fight, not so relevant anymore. Now it's all about the All Glory angle. They have taken that fight up in the north. Lost Joe Max in the meantime, but are going to try and go for the res. Being pushed up on by Blackhand, though. You've got to imagine it's the end. Shubi takes another one. Yatso takes a second. And Blackhand end up taking the northern end of this ring, moving themselves behind the rocks and putting themselves in God's spot.
Yeah, well, you say that, but they are still taking shots from the other side here. Gotta be very careful, because they did have to leave their God spot, but now everybody else. RNG also in a really good spot, but so is a lot of other players.
Just watch it happen, guys. Keep your eyes on the kill feed. Renegades are fighting for their lives in this corner, but they found that knock again onto Final Bozos and are rounding the corner to take out their Gibraltar. See ya, says Madness as he rounds the corner with the Peacekeeper, throws in some shots with the R99, and now unleashes a torrent of loot right next to Renegades. They found their next prey as well, as we're down to just 5 squads. Final Bozos are out, someone sign us are out, and we're in top 3 just like that.
Madness just peeked around, took a shot, and knew that it was a kill. Just instantly. That was so clean. Sliding in on there. Now, I would argue that RNG are sitting in a God spot right now, not only because of the positioning, but you can see all of the extra shields that they have on the ground. They have shield swaps for days, ready for an engage as somebody has to push up onto them. As ring will be closing pretty central here, based on what we are seeing up in that upper left corner.
Gabe not quite finding purchase. Remember, we don't have ultic cells either, so Goat's not gonna have the portal up in time. They swap in the, they swap Shubi, the gold helm, just in the nick of time to try and get yourself that little bit of extra bubble cooldown, but Blackhand are poking out, waiting to use that bubble res if they absolutely have to on Goat CC. Uchinix take the flank on Renegades, but want to let this play out. Plugged Q becomes the focus, though doesn't drop the bubble just yet. Instead, Save Griffin keeps that one around just in case for use in the future, and Renegades are the ones on the ropes. Somehow, Blackhand turned this into what looks like a 3 versus 3 on the opposite end of the map. Raver still in hand, and Madness has an angle here, finds himself a few shots, but it is so on the edge for Renegades as nades start flying in from above.
Yeah, this is where you wish you had the Watson to keep yourself healthy from these nades, but they do not have it. That is one down, Save Griffin.
How are Blackhand doing this?
Oh my god. The scariest thing about this is we showed Shubi for a second. That man has 11 kills.
Watch Shubi for a second more, though. Remember, he's got gold helmet. They just need this one last bubble. We're still 3 squads left. Renegades are pushing up on this. Finally, the bubble goes down, but is it too late? Kraber has one bullet left, and it's a headshot for Madness! Last 2 teams, but Renegades are sure to take it as Madness turns around one more time. He finds Flush with the Mastiff. He finds the last shot and sends Renegades to the Game 3 win. What a play!
Massive stuff from Renegades at the end of that, making the push at exactly the time it needed to happen. They held on to their spot as long as needed, and when they pushed in, man, it was just at the right time. There was Blackhand already trying to push in on another squad, and then you had Renegades come in. The Kraber shot, the no-scope headshot. That's face. You good, buddy?
No, I'm not good. I'm not good. Kessa, I'm great. I am I'm shooba-dooba-doo.